The upcoming September 2025 Blood Moon Eclipse is not just another moment in the sky. It's a powerful cosmic event that carries the potential to transform destinies, and for Capricorn, it could mark the most defining turning point of this decade. When the Earth, Moon, and Sun align, and the Moon takes on its haunting crimson glow, it will not only mesmerize the world with its beauty, but also ignite deep, life-altering energy within Capricorns. This isn't just about watching the night sky change. It's about feeling the pulse of the universe shift inside your soul, pushing you toward revelations you never imagined. For Capricorns, this eclipse represents destiny calling, the unveiling of hidden truths, and the kind of transformation that can completely reshape the path ahead. Picture yourself standing beneath that red moon, the air charged with mystery, as though the universe itself whispers directly to you. As Carl Jung once said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." This eclipse is that awakening moment, when fate becomes clear, when the unseen steps into the light, and when Capricorn's true journey begins. And in this video, we will uncover everything about Capricorn, what this eclipse means for your future, your relationships, your career, and your destiny. So stay tuned, because by the end, you'll see your sign in a way you never have before. Before we dive deep, if you find this video informative, make sure to subscribe my Futures Copy channel and hit the like button so you never miss more astrology content that helps you decode the secrets of the stars. Now, let's begin. Capricorns are often admired for their iron discipline, relentless determination, and their ability to climb mountains that others wouldn't even dare to approach. They are the Zodiac's true mountain goats, patient, steady, and willing to endure years of effort just to reach the summit of their dreams. Every step they take is calculated. Every sacrifice is made with a purpose, and their lives often become symbols of resilience and ambition. But what happens when the very mountain they've been climbing begins to tremble under the force of the universe itself? What happens when destiny steps in and says, "It's time to change direction"? The September 2025 Blood Moon Eclipse is not just a dramatic event in the sky, it's a seismic shift in Capricorn's destiny. It is happening in a part of the heavens that directly challenges Capricorn's old habits, rigid routines, and outdated ways of thinking. This cosmic moment is like the ground shaking beneath their feet, urging them to release what no longer serves their higher purpose. For many Capricorns, this will feel like a long overdue awakening. Think about how much responsibility Capricorns often carry, being the strong one for their family, working late hours to secure financial stability, or silently holding the weight of unspoken expectations. For years, some have been climbing without pause, always focused on the next milestone, the next achievement, the next proof of success. And while this persistence is admirable, it often comes at a cost. Inner needs, emotions, and self-care are pushed aside. This eclipse acts as a cosmic reminder that true destiny isn't defined only by career titles, money, or material recognition. Instead, it asks Capricorns to rediscover balance between their external success and their inner healing, between worldly accomplishments and spiritual growth. The Blood Moon Eclipse will illuminate the hidden corners of Capricorn's soul, pulling buried truths to the surface. For some, this might show up as a dramatic career shift, perhaps an opportunity they never imagined, or a sudden realization that their current path no longer fulfills them. For others, it could manifest in relationships. A long-standing partnership might transform, family dynamics could shift, or an unexpected connection could arrive, changing the course of their personal life. Financially, too, surprises may unfold. Capricorns may find themselves letting go of old patterns of scarcity or control, making way for abundance in ways they didn't anticipate. The blood-red glow of the moon will symbolize both endings and beginnings, closures and fresh starts, reminding Capricorns that sometimes the bravest act is not climbing higher, but choosing a new mountain altogether. This eclipse is like the universe whispering, "Let go so you can rise." What you release under this crimson moon will create sacred space for what you truly desire, not just success that looks good on paper, but fulfillment that nourishes your soul. For Capricorns, this is more than an astrological event. It is a rebirth, a turning point, and an invitation to finally align destiny with authenticity. The September 2025 Blood Moon Eclipse is the cosmic moment when the mountain goat realizes that the real victory is not just reaching the peak, but finding peace and purpose along the climb. To truly grasp the magnitude of this celestial moment, we need to dive deeper into the astrology that shapes it. A lunar eclipse is never just an ordinary full moon. It's a cosmic turning point directly tied to the lunar nodes, also known as the nodes of destiny. These nodes, the North Node and the South Node, act like invisible anchors in the sky, pointing us toward the soul's karmic past and future. Think of the South Node as what you've already mastered, but must now release, and the North Node as the direction your soul is craving to grow into. In September 2025, this blood moon eclipse doesn't just illuminate the sky with a haunting red glow. It aligns with the heavyweight of the Zodiac, Pluto, the planet of power, transformation, and ultimate rebirth. And here's the striking part. Pluto is currently traveling through the sign of Aquarius, which sits right next to Capricorn in the zodiac wheel, making its presence impossible for Capricorns to ignore. This alignment is monumental because Pluto isn't a planet that plays gently. It strips away illusions, breaks down old structures, and forces you to rebuild stronger than ever. When a lunar eclipse and Pluto join forces, it's as if fate presses a giant reset button, shaking the very foundations of your life. For Capricorns, this means long-standing patterns, routines, or even identities they've clung to may suddenly feel outdated, heavy, or suffocating. If you've been stuck in responsibilities that drain you, or if you've been climbing a mountain that no longer feels like yours, the universe may step in with dramatic clarity, pushing you to let go and reroute towards something more aligned with your higher purpose. Imagine carrying a backpack full of stones up a steep mountain, only to realize you were never meant to carry that weight in the first place. This eclipse is the moment where you drop the bag and finally feel the lightness of moving freely again. Astrologically, this is a rare window where destiny takes center stage. For some Capricorns, this could manifest as a sudden career pivot. Opportunities may appear that completely shift the trajectory of your professional path. For others, this energy may ripple into the personal sphere, sparking revelations in relationships, family dynamics, or even how you manage finances and personal security. The changes may feel disruptive at first, but underneath the surface, they are aligned with your long-term growth. In many ways, this blood moon eclipse acts like a mirror, showing you where you've been giving too much energy to external success, while ignoring the call for emotional healing and spiritual expansion. Visually, imagine graphics showing the full moon slowly being swallowed by Earth's shadow, glowing blood red against a dark sky. Overlay this with animated astrology charts, the eclipse point connecting with the North and South nodes, while Pluto hovers nearby in Aquarius, its dark, transformative energy radiating into Capricorn's domain. These visuals not only capture the beauty of the celestial event, but also help the audience understand the gravity of this alignment. The universe isn't just whispering, it's sending a bold, undeniable message. For Capricorn, the time has come to release the outdated, step out of the old roles, and boldly embrace the destiny waiting on the other side of this eclipse. The interest grows even stronger when we realize just how deeply personal these cosmic changes can be for Capricorns. This isn't just some vague celestial forecast. It's a turning point that can touch nearly every layer of life, starting with career. Imagine a Capricorn who has spent years, maybe even decades, climbing the corporate ladder with discipline and persistence, only to suddenly feel a wave of dissatisfaction under this eclipse energy. The blood moon combined with Pluto's influence may spark an awakening that whispers, "You're meant for more." This could lead to bold decisions, such as stepping away from a steady job to finally launch that long-dreamed-of business, or transforming a simple hobby into a career path that feels alive with passion. For some, this might mean rising into leadership roles they once doubted they were capable of holding, while for others, it could inspire a total reinvention, moving into industries or projects that better align with their soul's purpose. To illustrate this, the video could show visuals of corporate skyscrapers dissolving into lush green landscapes, symbolizing the shift from rigid structures to fresh beginnings. Relationships are another area where the eclipse may demand attention. Capricorns, often known for their loyalty and sense of duty, sometimes cling to connections that no longer serve them simply because they fear rocking the boat. Under the light of this blood moon, however, illusions could shatter. If a Capricorn has been stuck in a stagnant, one-sided, or emotionally draining relationship, the eclipse may bring matters to a breaking point. This doesn't have to be seen as loss, it's liberation, creating space for deeper, more fulfilling bonds. On the flip side, not all endings are negative. For some, this eclipse could align with divine timing, leading to fated encounters that feel larger than life. A new romance, a soulmate, or even a destined business partner could enter the scene, rewriting Capricorn's story in ways they never anticipated. To bring this alive visually, the video could include animations of two paths intersecting, glowing with light, symbolizing destiny, weaving connections that change everything. Financially, the themes of restructuring and renewal become just as powerful. Many Capricorns have carried heavy burdens when it comes to money. Debts, responsibilities, or financial obligations that felt like chains weighing them down. But under the influence of Pluto and the eclipse, breakthroughs are not only possible, they're likely. Some may discover new streams of income through investments, career shifts, or creative ventures. Others may finally release old fears about scarcity, embracing a mindset of abundance that attracts prosperity in unexpected ways. A striking image here could be golden coins transforming into keys, unlocking doors to financial freedom. This symbolizes how the eclipse acts as a reset, helping Capricorns break cycles of limitation and step into greater empowerment. But perhaps the most intriguing part of this eclipse energy is the way it forces Capricorns to question identity itself. Who are they without the titles, the routines, and the roles they've carried for so long? The eclipse doesn't just shake up external circumstances, it digs deep, urging Capricorns to shed outdated versions of themselves and embrace a truer, more authentic identity. This inner transformation could ripple outward, changing the way they carry themselves, the people they attract, and the opportunities that flow their way. Imagine visuals of a Capricorn standing at the top of a mountain as shadows peel away behind them, while a glowing doorway of light opens ahead, symbolizing the release of the old self and the birth of the new. Now, the desire truly takes root when we begin to understand just how much transformative power this eclipse is offering to Capricorns. For so long, many born under this sign have been conditioned to equate stability with control over their careers, their finances, their family responsibilities, and even their emotions. Yet, this blood moon reminds them that the only lasting stability is the one cultivated within the soul. External structures, no matter how carefully built, can collapse or shift overnight, but inner strength and alignment with one's true purpose create a foundation that nothing can shake. This eclipse acts as a mirror, showing Capricorns that clinging to outdated duties or roles is not security, it's stagnation. It whispers the invitation to surrender fear and instead see transformation not as chaos, but as liberation. Imagine for a moment the profound relief of setting down a burden that you've carried for far too long. Picture the feeling of no longer being bound by responsibilities that drain your energy and steal your joy. That space you free up, it becomes fertile ground for something far more fulfilling. Work that resonates with your heart, relationships that bring genuine connection, and a lifestyle that honors your spirit. The eclipse's energy may be intense, yes, but intensity is often the birthplace of clarity. It pushes you to ask, what truly matters? What is worth carrying into the next chapter? And what is better left behind? And here lies the deepest desire, to step boldly into a future where every aspect of your life feels aligned with your inner truth. Your career no longer feels like a cage, but like a platform for purpose. Your relationships no longer feel obligatory, but nourishing. Your finances no longer feel like chains, but like resources that empower you. The eclipse promises that if you are willing to let go of what no longer serves you, new doors will not just creak open, they will swing wide, revealing opportunities you may never have dreamed possible. To make this vision come alive for viewers, imagine visuals of a blood-red moon slowly dissolving into radiant light, symbolizing the clearing away of shadows and the dawning of renewal. Soft, uplifting music swells in the background, underscoring the sense of hope, freedom, and rebirth. The imagery reflects the message: endings are not punishments, they are gateways. And for Capricorns, this eclipse is the moment when desire for change transforms into the courage to embrace destiny itself. One fascinating fact about blood moon eclipses is that throughout history, ancient cultures often regarded them as deeply significant omens of change, mystery, and transformation. To some, these eclipses were feared as warnings from the heavens, signs that something disruptive or even catastrophic was about to occur. Kings and rulers would sometimes delay decisions or even avoid battles during an eclipse, believing the skies themselves were urging caution. Yet in other traditions, the very same phenomenon was celebrated as a powerful portal of renewal, a moment when the ordinary world was touched by something extraordinary and divine. In those moments of blood-red skies, people felt that hidden truths could no longer stay concealed, that cosmic energy was unveiling what had been buried beneath the surface of daily life. In modern times, astrologers interpret blood moon eclipses not as fearful omens, but as cosmic turning points, moments when the invisible becomes visible, when the shadows of our inner lives are illuminated under the fiery glow of the moon. For Capricorns, who are naturally inclined to bury their emotions under layers of responsibility, ambition, and structure, this eclipse functions like a giant celestial mirror. It reveals what they've avoided confronting, the doubts they've hidden, the desires they've suppressed, the emotions they've brushed aside in favor of discipline and progress. It's almost as if the universe is gently but firmly whispering to them, "You've worked tirelessly, climbed higher than most, but pause for a moment. Are you climbing the right mountain? Or have you spent years scaling a peak that doesn't actually lead to the life you truly crave?" This realization can feel both terrifying and liberating. Terrifying because it challenges the very foundation of Capricorn's identity, built on hard work, persistence, and achievement. Liberating because it opens the door to the possibility of redirecting their path towards something more meaningful, something that nurtures not just worldly success, but inner fulfillment. Imagine the power of suddenly seeing clearly that the summit you've been striving for may not actually bring joy, and then realizing you are free to choose another mountain altogether. That kind of awakening is what this blood moon has the potential to bring, and to add a little humor to lighten the heaviness of such soul-deep questions. If Capricorns earned $1 for every time they overworked themselves, every sleepless night, every weekend sacrificed to get ahead, they'd probably already own the mountain they're climbing, complete with a luxury cabin at the peak. But jokes aside, this playful truth underscores a serious point. The eclipse is not asking Capricorns to abandon ambition, but rather to channel it more wisely, to stop measuring success solely by external markers, and instead direct that powerful energy toward creating lives that balance achievement with joy, prosperity with peace, and discipline with love. In short, this celestial moment isn't about climbing faster or harder. It's about making sure the mountain is truly theirs to climb, leading not only to success but to genuine happiness and spiritual renewal. Finally, the action phase of this journey is not just important, it's absolutely crucial, because without grounding the powerful energies of the eclipse into practical steps, all that insight and potential can remain floating in the air, never truly touching everyday life. Capricorns, being naturally disciplined and methodical, are actually well suited to this phase, but they must consciously remind themselves that this isn't about controlling change, it's about cooperating with it. One of the simplest yet most profound ways to begin is through creating sacred space for reflection. Journaling during the eclipse is not just writing words on paper, it becomes a ritual, a way to translate inner feelings into clarity. When Capricorns sit under the red glow of the blood moon and pour their thoughts, fears, and hopes onto the page, they are essentially weaving a bridge between the unseen world of emotions and the tangible world of action. Meditation under the moonlight adds another layer. Imagine the stillness of the night, the glow of the eclipse above, and the quiet whisper of the universe guiding you inward. Even something as gentle as lighting a candle, breathing deeply, and asking yourself, "What do I need to release? What am I ready to welcome?" can unlock profound answers. Action during this phase is not about rushing forward. It's about aligning with the flow of cosmic timing. That's why intention setting is so important. Capricorns should think of their intentions not as lofty goals, but as seeds being planted in fertile soil under the energy of the eclipse. The eclipse, with its dramatic light and shadow, symbolizes endings and beginnings, so this is the perfect time to write down intentions of what must end: outdated habits, toxic relationships, self-limiting beliefs, and what deserves a fresh start, such as healthier routines, new creative projects, or more nurturing connections. To make this more tangible, rituals of release can be very powerful. Visualize letting go of the old by writing fears or burdens on a piece of paper and then burning it in a safe fire, or placing a symbolic object into flowing water to represent release and renewal. These small symbolic acts tell the subconscious mind that it's safe to let go, making it easier for the conscious mind to follow. But the action phase also has a deeply practical side, which Capricorns will resonate with. Beyond rituals, they are encouraged to take grounded steps in their everyday lives. For example, reorganizing finances during this period can bring relief and a sense of clarity, especially if financial pressure has been one of the burdens weighing heavily on their shoulders. Prioritizing self-care, whether through rest, nutrition, or setting healthier boundaries, becomes a revolutionary act under this eclipse, because it shows the universe that you value your own well-being as much as your work or responsibilities. Having important conversations that have been delayed, whether with loved ones, partners, or colleagues, can also be transformative, as eclipses tend to bring hidden truths to the surface. Avoiding these conversations can increase tension, but leaning into them can free Capricorns from chains they didn't even realize they were dragging behind them. In the end, the more open Capricorns are to transformation, the more rewarding their destiny will become. The action is not in doing more, but in doing wisely, channeling energy into what truly matters, aligning choices with soul rather than ego, and courageously stepping forward even when the path is uncertain. When they align with the rhythm of this eclipse, Capricorns won't just survive the changes, they'll thrive, stepping into a version of themselves that feels freer, lighter, and more powerful than ever before. So, as the September 2025 Blood Moon Eclipse approaches, remember that this is more than an astronomical event. It's a spiritual invitation. The crimson glow in the night sky is a reflection of the changes happening within Capricorn's soul. This is the time to shed old skins, embrace new beginnings, and align with the path that destiny has written for you. Whether it's a career breakthrough, a relationship shift, or a personal awakening, the universe is setting the stage for Capricorn's evolution. The mountain goat is no longer just climbing. It is transforming into something even greater. Let the blood moon remind you that every ending leads to a brighter beginning and that your destiny is always guiding you forward.